1 minute off. Well, I just have to start without it. But anyway, we're on page 7 of our study as far as the 10 Commandments. I find that this study has become quite informative. We have little regard sometimes about words that we say and things that we do, but words is something that is everybody uses, but at the same time, many times the words that we use, we do not realize whence they come. What we used to call the Old English, the King's English, the meaning back in the time that those words were spoken in the slang that man has become or began to use today is quite different. And the words and the meaning is quite a contrast between them. And if the good Lord willing, we're going to get into some of those things as far as the words, as far as the dictionary and what actually the word came from or where it stemmed from. We're going to get into maybe some of those. Back in the 1600s and the 1500s, these are words that were introduced into the English language and mean quite a bit different than what they actually are used, quite different from what they were actually used originally. I believe we're on question number 6, if my memory serves me correctly. That's the one I've got marked. Are there any questions that anyone might have before we get started on some of these things? Okay. Notice what it says there in question 6. What should be our attitude concerning God's name? Could be respected, reverenced. Like we said, I think it was last week or something along that line, the policy back during the time when these things were being written or whenever they would make a copy of the scriptures where they would have a bunch of different ones writing it. Well, if they wrote the word God instead of using the word Jehovah, they would take literally and wash themselves, change their clothes, and use a new quill or new pen to just write the name God or Jehovah. So we can see it was quite a ordeal, if that's a good way of saying it, but it was a respect for just writing the word God. So we can see that there's quite a bit of difference in the way we use it today and how they reverenced God back in that time. So when he uses this there in Matthew the 6th chapter there in verse 9, hallowed be thy name, it's a little bit different then from what it is today.
Milton, what's I should have dug it out again, but some translations use the word, I may be saying it wrong, Yahweh.
Yahweh, yeah.
Yeah. What's the story?
Same thing. It's a term for Jehovah. Yahweh.
One of the translators suggested that that's more accurate than using
Jehovah.
The other.
There's several terms that man has used over the years. Yes.
Especially in the Old Testament.
Mm-hmm. And Hebrew and the Greek in translating. Yes. All righty. Now, notice there in Matthew 6 and verse 9, we're going to take this verse a little bit at a time, kind of maybe better understand. Notice what he said, hallowed be thy name. Did you get those pieces? Mimeographed off. Hallowed be thy name. The word hallowed means to render, to pronounce holy. God's name is holy, and the meaning of his this petition, whenever Jesus is saying this, is let thy name be celebrated and esteem it as holy everywhere. Now, this is talking about everywhere, anywhere, or anytime, and receive from all men the proper honor or proper respect. Now, when we use the word hallowed, we might not even use or never think about that terminology. That's what he's talking about. And wherever we are and whatever we're doing, the word God or word Jehovah should be hallowed in that sense. We should put it on a pedestal. It is something that we respect and honor. And I think it's an expression of a wish or desire on the part of the worshiper that the name of God be held in high regard. So these are some things that we sometimes don't think about when we use the term hallowed be thy name. So I think that we sometimes, I think, overlook just some word ties. Not only that, he said he is, what else along that line? Hallowed be thy name, and whenever you use the word thy kingdom come, has it come today? It's already come. Can we pray this? A lot of times whenever when we were in school, this is a prayer that was repeated every Sunday, every morning whenever we had a prayer and a quiet time. And usually these are some of the things that we did back then. But the prayer itself, with the exception of thy kingdom come, can it be prayed today? Well, yes, it can be. For the kingdom has already come. So that's some things that we might not really think about. But the attitude that we have, respect.
Milton, on that, I'm not being argumentative. The kingdom is already
Come.
It's here.
That is correct.
So we need to pray that because it is already here.
That's right. Thy kingdom has come. We can use that way. Okay. All right. Now, any questions? Okay. Notice something there in question number 7. What names should be attached to the Lord? Now, again, this is something that I think we read this verse there in Isaiah 9, but have you ever stopped to think about what it means? Unto us a child is born, unto us a son is given. The government shall be upon his shoulders, and his name shall be called Wonderful, Counselor, the Mighty God, the Everlasting Father, the Prince of Peace. Now, again, respect, is it not? Let's notice something here. When he uses the term the first thing there in this verse, he is going to be wonderful. What is that? Is he not both God and Christ? Are we both God and man? His love is seen on both sides.